Is Bitcoin ready to go full bull mode? Are we going to kick off the bull market? Or is this one of the biggest fake outs ever and we're getting ready to go back down? So let's go look at the facts in the chart and let you decide. So that's what you should be doing. Don't follow someone that's perma bull or perma bear. Look at both sides of the coin equally as much as possible. Weigh the evidence, and then whoever has the most evidence, that's who you should go with. Nothing is certain in crypto but uncertainty, so all you have is the odds. Weigh your odds in your favor, and that's where you should generally try to stick to. Okay, so having said that, let's get right to it. Bitcoin, hell of a move this week. We're up almost 20% on Bitcoin in 1 week. Yes, that is pretty impressive. One of the biggest moves we've seen in quite some time, at least to the upside, right? We've had plenty of downside, and now look at where we are, right? We're at fresh local highs as of this morning. Happy Friday, by the way. As of this morning, local highs not seen since last summer in June, right? So by definition, that is at least worth paying attention to, if nothing else. Right, so step two, where is the bullish sentiment? Well, we've broken out of this kind of a neckline here, right? You see this previous double top kind of looking right here, February, and also previously in August. We are now above that. We are above these previous local double wicks here, which had a potential to be tweezer top, but kind of a fake out to the downward side. We'll look at some indicators in a moment and kind of see how rare that was to have this kind of fake out move down. Maybe the bank situation over the past few days, past week or so, has helped kind of shed some light on the power of Bitcoin, right? So maybe that's the first step in our crypto move to the future, right? So moving up here, right? This is not enough, right? You got to do something more convincing than this. What, Chase? What? How about step one? Let's close above this 200 week, the pink line here. We have to close above the pink line, just right around 25K, right? That's what step one. 2 days, 11 hours. Can we do it, right? Who knows? This could sell off in the next handful of days, and we could end up closing down below this. That would be a cause for concern, okay? So pump the brakes, wait until we close. And then what if we do? What if we close here, right? What if we close at 26, 27K? Are we ready to go then? No. What's the next thing we need to do? We need to confirm this move with a second candle. So unfortunately, to be ultra safe, to be more safe, I should say, right? We want to close a second weekly candle above that 200 week. And then we can really start to shift more towards the bullish market, the bull market starting, right? Now, why is that? Well, let's pretend the 200 week is the dividing line, right? We have the bull property up here, the bear property here. We've been in the bear property for a long time. We've broken through to their side, but we need to stay and close the door. The door closes, not a steel vault, but maybe like a subtle wooden door right here, right? If we can close, right? We need to break through, turn around, and shut the door. So we need 2 candles on the weekly to close above 25K, that pink 200 week EMA, and then I think you have to move more towards the bullish side, whether or not your favorite YouTuber is still calling for 12K, 3K, and months from now or not, right? You'd have to start discrediting that a little bit in that scenario, right? Plain and simple. So let's see where we go from there, right? Don't get too far ahead of yourself until you see the door close. The door closes next week, next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday. This is step one. You at least got to get on the bullish territory. Step two, shut the door behind us. And I think that happens if we get 2 consecutive weekly closes above 25K. So if you're a bull, you'd want to have your fingers crossed for that. If you're a bear, you'd want to not see that happen, obviously, right? Now, this fake out down last week, we made a video on, I believe, on Monday. Go watch my Bitcoin video on Monday, and I said, do not discount this candle. This is an impressive candle and with a lot of meaning. A long lower tail. It wasn't a dragonfly doji, but it's very close to it, and it's definitely a bullish candle with a long lower wick. What does that mean? That means buyers are coming in here at a rapid pace, pushing this back up. So we opened here and we closed just below it, right? So that is a bullish candle, even though it was red, right? This long tail signifies the buyers coming in. So, and then we're seeing some follow through off of that. So that kind of confirms that move, right? This wasn't a fake out. This was actually buyers really coming in and then confirming and backing that up this week. So we want to see them not run for the hills next week, right? If we, that's the asterisk is if we close up here, we could still close back on the bearish territory, right? So if we close under there, then, you know, watch out, right? We'll update you next Monday on a Bitcoin video. So we'll see what we've got going over the weekend, over the next 2.5 days, and we will see, you know, what plays out. But watch the facts and the charts, and watch less chats on your, you know, on your phone and tablet and all that stuff, right? Watch the charts. That's where all the price discounts everything, right? Anyone's got an opinion. Talk is cheap. Watch the charts. Prices don't lie, right? All right, so let's look at some indicators on the weekly and see what we got, good and maybe bad, and we'll look at both sides, right? So the great, I would start off with the great is that you know, we've talked about this in pretty much every Bitcoin video recently, going over the past, you know, you can go all the way back to 2015, and you can roughly, you know, decide, right? The bullish and bearish territory is kind of decided, right? Bull markets up here, bear markets down here. I mean, look at the dates, right? You can just pull this up on the weekly. You can pull up on the BLX and go back, you know, a decade if you want. But historically speaking, this tends to do better than not. If we can hold up here, we need to kind of, we can like loosely paint this zone, right? It doesn't have to be a definitive line, but looking up here, this is what we need to do. We're looking at we want to do a similar move as we did back here. And last week it looked a little sketch, right? We were all the way back down at the bottom of that zone. But this is what we want to mirror, right? This is what we're looking at. The pandemic drop here and then the move back up, right? Bullish territory. Look how similar this looks so far, right? Hesitation for several weeks and then a move up. Hesitation for several weeks and then so far a move up. But we haven't closed this, right? This is what we want to do. And that if we come back down, we do not want to see the weekly RSI anywhere down here, right? When true bull runs start, there is no more fake outs down, right? After you break this territory. And we got so close last week. We double bottomed right here, took out a new high, right? The double bottoms, if you don't know, like double bottoms do not confirm when it bounces here. It only confirms if you take out the high. So right here, or just a few days ago, is when this confirmed as a double bottom for this, right? Double bottoms do not confirm on the bottom. They confirm after the top is made a new fresh high, right? So hopefully that helps someone. If you didn't know, now you know. So that's what we're looking at on the weekly RSI. Now, RSI also is at 62 on the weekly. There's not many coins that are higher than that. That is impressive. So Bitcoin is the safe play for now. I know it's not the best gains, but I didn't say the best gains. I said the safest play, right? The stochastic RSI, which is momentum and based on the RSI, that's holding our momentum to the upside. So great, right? Good. MFI, money flow index, right? Going up. You want that to confirm the trend. You do not, if you're falling, right, and you see this going up, that is divergence, right? So we're actually getting that over the, from June all the way to really January, right? The prices kept falling and the MFI kept going up, right? So this kind of predicted this move that was coming, right? Even though it was hard to believe back in December that, something was, destined to play out. Here's that move, right? ADX and DI. Again, we got dangerously close to crossing. That would have been, rough and not good, right? Because historically, when the weekly ADX and DI cross, that is usually the direction you're going for quite some time. But we got a bounce with super divergence here. Now, is this a great move so far? Not yet. Why? The ADX and DI line, the ADX is the orange, the DI negative is the red, the DI positive is the green. So you want to think of those as bulls and bears. So bulls in charge here in the green, but is it powerful? No. You want the ADX above 25 on, whatever you're looking at. I like to look at the ADX and DI on the weekly primarily. You can do the daily, a little bit more fake outs, kind of like the Gaussian channel. It has its, every indicator has kind of a sweet spot. And for ADX and the I really like it on the weekly. Now we need to see the ADX confirm this and gain strength above 25. So that's what we're waiting on. Now, if we see some kind of scenario like this, where these are still diverging, and then you see this orange ADX curling up here, and we pass 25, right? He's hitting the gym, and that's where the strength comes in, right? Look at the bear market back here, right? Bears on top, confirming the strength above 25, right? Look how bearish we got, right? That's why, right? ADX and DI can really help you, right? Adding not one indicator, but a multitude of indicators, all saying similar things. That's where you start to get, big pictures and, better translations, right? So that's what we're looking for the ADX and DI above 25 on the ADX orange line. OBV, on balance volume, right? This is very important to confirm your trend. Which way is it going? It's starting to move up, right? Like from the bottom to where we are now, up, right? So your prices need to be going up. If prices are going up and the on balance volume is going down, that's a huge concern. That's another divergence, and OBV is a great one for divergence. If that is telling you there's bearish or bullish divergence, you better listen to on balance volume. If nothing else, that one and MFI are probably the two best if you had to use one of those, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So on balance volume confirming our trend to the upside, that is also bullish sentiment, right? Now, one of the rare fake outs, at least so far, it seems like it's trying to be a fake out down on the weekly Fisher transform. We had a sell signal, right? That was likely due to that huge crash back down to 19.5. We went from 25K to 19.5 in like a week and a half, right? That will definitely get you in panic mode on the Fisher transform. And there's a lot of math involved in the Fisher transform. It's one of my favorite indicators. So if you don't use it yet, I would use it on the weekly. Looking back in history, I mean, look, we've been in a downtrend really since January of 2021 on the Fisher transform, and look where we broke out at, right? That is significant. Anytime you do things with an indicator or price that haven't been done in months or years, it's at least worth noting and maybe zooming in a bit and checking out what the hell's going on, because when that happens, usually there's something bigger at foot, and then we're seeing the kind of the result of that. So early January, mid-January, this confirmed with the breakout and the move. You want to see these lines moving parallel and then moving to the upside. So we're at a nice move up now. We had the trigger down, 2 weeks ago, and that was a big concern, because usually, I mean, looking back in history, you're not having a whole lot of just quick moves down and up. So if this confirms back up, this would actually look even tighter than it does. It would actually like bounce right here. So historically speaking, that doesn't happen. Maybe at this kind of back and forth, right? This is kind of the Pico top back in May 2021 before major disruption, right? May of 2021. It gave you a little bit of a precursor. You can go look at that. In April, it told us to kind of watch what's going on here. So far we could be having kind of a opposite effect of this, where we have some hesitation and then a kind of a fake out down, and then a continuation move up to the greater bull market, right? We'll see, right? But Fisher transform is a great one to be looking at. So we'll see how that translates out as of close. If we close where we are or higher, then this will absolutely look like a pivot point right here, and it'll just be like quick kind of zip and fake back out to the upside. And if we trigger back long here, let's see where our next resistance point is. Besides this 100-week EMA right here, right? That's a decent one. That current price is 27.5. Now note also, I mean, look at the 3 wicks right here, from way back in January and February 2022. We had 3 weeks of piercing that line but holding as support, right, with the closes. So maybe we get a hesitation there for a couple weeks, maybe move sideways. That's still bullish, just like we did here, right? Move up, just kind of sideways, chill out, and then go again, and then move up, maybe sideways, chill out, and then go again, right? Stair stepping up is exactly what you'd want to see to remain healthy in a newborn bull market. So before you know it, right, all your favorite YouTubers calling for these prices down here or lower will be left with their fly down, right? So you can decide or not who you want to follow, but if they don't have a flip point, right, I don't care if they're calling for whatever K down here, But if prices are at 30K and they're still calling for those, you probably do yourself a favor and hit unsubscribe, right? I mean, damn. So now, what besides this, if we could flip this, right, the 27.5, the 100-week EMA, what's our next level? Because you see there's no more moving averages to be looking at here, right? Well, let's look at our zones, right? It's going to be somewhere in this area likely, right? So I would say, we're looking at all these candles here. I would say somewhere right in that area from like 30 to 32K. Right in that area, I think we have a legit shot. If we close over the 100-week at 27.5, I think we can make an even further push to 30 to 32.5. That's our next kind of zone, right? Look at all these weekly wicks in here, right? So that was our kind of initial sell-off from the bull run. And we held support right in that area, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 weeks in a row, testing between 30 to 32K. And then flash forward, a handful of months later, back into May, our initial drop, right, to 32 to 30K for a multitude of weeks before pushing back up again. And, once we broke this, we came back down, we closed our candle under 30K, and that was really, the crack that broke the ice, really. So then we fell down even further. So that's my next legit target if, we can take out all the moving averages. And the last one happens to be the 100-week at 27.5. We close above that. This seems imminent to me, right? So that's what we're looking at for our upside target. Now, to our downside targets, we're still okay as long as we're maintaining above the 21-week EMA. We're still macro bullish, right? So up in here to the bearish side, right? If we come back down, we're still good for holding that. The exit point, right? If our low ball callers are gonna win. We must hold, this could be a zone. Let's do a zone instead of a hard line. I would say right in this area I'll give it down to like 18.2, 18K, right in there, right? If we're under here at any given moment, even with a wick, especially at close, not only are we going back to test these lows, I think we would likely go much lower. So this would be a terrible sign. And, thinking that we're going to reverse at 16, 17K, not likely if this scenario ensues. I do not think this is, likely, certainly at this point. But if we do, right, just trying to prepare you for both sides. If we're under 18K, if you see price under 18K and you have any money in the market, not financial advice, but me personally would be getting out completely because you're likely going to get a much better shot to buy lower. And we can, reevaluate all that at a later date. Geez, I hope this is recording. I've done like 20, 30-minute videos and then look over and it's not recording. And, chairs get thrown. And, no, we're good. So hopefully someone's finding value in this. We're pushing 18 minutes, but, getting enough information out for the weekend. Hopefully, this makes everything more crystal clear for you. I tried to not put any fluff in it, just as much information as possible. So if you found any of this information helpful, hit the thumbs up and hopefully spread the word. If you want more help like this, more daily videos, I have a Patreon group, private Telegram. I do multitude of updates a day in there every day. Short snippets. You get your chance to request altcoins, request charts. You can ask me questions. I'm in there every day, Monday through Friday at least. Sometimes if big things happen on the weekends even. So happy to help you there. If not there, I do occasionally get on Twitter, but I feel like that's getting to become, more of a hate pool. So I kind of stay off Twitter as much. It's just all fluff on there. So really Telegram, find us on there. I have a public one. I'm not in there as much, but our private Telegram, I'm in there daily multitude of times. So let's get to our quote of the day. And we'll see what we got here. Be true to your work, be true to your word, and be true to your friend. I added some extra fluff in there, but you get the point, right? That's great mottos to live by. Car of the day. We're still visiting our car show that I went to a couple weeks ago, the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance, Ferrari SF90 Stradale. This is over $1 million, so pretty impressive. You could just walk right up to these and people are touching them. My mind's blowing. I don't know how you would let anybody touch these, but okay. There's a Maserati MC20 right next to it. Let's go scroll through a couple. This was a fantastic show. super awesome cars there. Obviously, there's the Maserati, and there's the rear end of the SF90. Just absolutely amazing. The entire rear only comes up from this glass part. This is the only part that moves over here, right there. So impressive car. Let's see if I got anything else. There's a zoom in, close up picture. All this black is carbon fiber. Pretty impressive Ferrari, but for that price point, I'd rather have a couple other things, I think. What do you think? SF90, best recently designed Ferrari, I think, but the price got off the charts. I'd rather have a 458 or 488 for a third of the price, right? So, all right, that's car of the day. Bitcoin, looking pretty strong. Let me know your thoughts below. I'll try to read all the comments, and I'll see you on the next one for both of you that watch this long.